Tophia has had one ridiculous week once again, and this time we're going to get answers to a lot of questions that people have had for quite a long time now. The real catalyst that drove me to make this video was a clip from Tophia's stream last night, where she said that her stepdad, yes, you heard me right, her stepdad Papachu left them money to pay the bills with back when he went to jail the first time or something like that, and they didn't steal his money. Like, they didn't steal from her stepdad. Now, as far as I'm concerned, she's never referred to Papachu as stepdad before, and all of this happening right now, like at the same time that people are heavily speculating that Papachu wasn't actually her real father, is just like, it's the worst timing ever for Tophia. Remember, people have been saying that Mamachu was on her station head years ago, talking about how she met Papachu while she was pregnant with Tophia. There's been pictures of the man people are alleging to be her actual father, Ronald, who's a white man. And just say this is true and Papachu is her stepdad. This would make Tophia not a black woman. And that is her greatest fear of all. She doesn't care if Papachu's actually her dad or not. She only cares that she has a black dad and not a white dad. Because I've seen the clips before. She's even gone out of her way to say that if Papachu was ever found out to be like not her legitimate father, that wouldn't matter. She's still black because, well, she said she is. It's simple as that. And it's not because she actually cares about black culture, it's because she sees her skin color as a shield. Now, that might sound very messed up, but if anyone's ever watched a Tophia video before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you call this woman lazy, she'll jump to, oh, you're calling all black people lazy? Wow, that's really racist of you. Not knowing that, no, nobody's calling anyone but you lazy, Tophia. It's all because of you and your own actions. And so, if this is true, and Tophia's own words are to be believed, then no, Tophia is in fact a white and Hispanic woman. But I'll show you that clip later on. We got a whole lot to watch today. She's also been ranting and raving about Brother Chu's ex-girlfriend Angie again, and in one of the most just messed up clips I've seen all week of Tophia, she's now blaming Angie for being the reason that Brother Chu is now no longer with us. And Tophia, despite having no proof of those claims, will throw them out willy-nilly like it's no big deal, but then will kick and stomp and freak out when people dare do the same shit to her, which rarely even happens because a lot of the situations people are accusing her of, like the stepdad one I just brought up, are all stemming from Tophia's own words. Nonetheless, you're going to get to see a lot of infuriating Toph clips today, so sit back, relax, try to enjoy it. It's always tough when Toph's on screen, but hey, it's better than Andy Ditch, right? Maybe, I don't know, maybe. But to even see all of that, you have to sift through the hours and hours of Tophia sitting on stream just watching TV. I'm dead serious when I tell you that she's been live for at least 10 to 15 hours this week, and a majority of it is what you see right here. It's just Tophia flipping through the channels, watching something on TV, and you can barely even hear her when she talks because the TV's so goddamn loud. I think in her mind, she's doing this to kind of stick it to the trolls, like, haha, you guys want content out of me, you get nothing. But on the flip side of that, if you're trying to make fans or trying to build your social media career like Tophia claims she is, imagine being somebody who's like, wow, who's this Tophia person? I want to support them. Let me check out their stream and see what they're up to. And you see this.
Would see one final twist.
Well, honestly, I didn't know that I was going to be putting his actual clothes on, his jeans, his jacket. It was kind of a shock for a second. And then I thought, I'm going to be Alice Cooper. We're going to do this. And he got me in the end.
The song became a global hit, with Alice Cooper entering the Billboard Top 10 for the first time since 1977.
It was a rebirth for Alice's career, certainly. It introduced him to a whole new group of fans.
And that's the strength of a very, very good artist.
Like, honestly, would you ever click on that live stream again? She's genuinely doing nothing, and I think it's just she has to have an excuse while staying at the shelter that she's doing something for work. So as long as she's live, that's work to her. Yeah, she might be making pennies on the dollar, but fuck you, anyone who says she's not working hard. And yes, she is at another shelter in Albuquerque. She's been kicked out of a few now, especially the first one that she was kicked out of after the Tylenol stunt she pulled. And now that situation is looking a whole lot worse for Tophia in retrospect. Because due to her trying to bait the internet, trying to bait the group home by thinking she was like some very mentally ill woman trying to do stuff with Tylenols and all that, I can't really outright say it on YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about. They kicked her out and she's not allowed to go back, but Papachu is still there, so she hasn't seen Papachu in like a month. And you know, I mentioned how she might be streaming because she wants to make it look like she's doing something for work, but in all actuality, I don't think she's supposed to be streaming at these places at all. And I say that because here's a clip of Tophia from last week where she's singing really loud copywritten music, but then somebody opens the door and quickly she just takes that stream down. You can even hear the woman in the background telling her, no. Like, no, Tophia, you know the tone of that no. And as soon as Tophia notices that, the stream gets paused and she has to act like she's not streaming again. So before we go into all this stuff today, I just want to let you guys know that I don't know what the rule here is. Is she allowed to stream? Is she not allowed to stream? She's streaming so much you'd think that it's no big deal, but then every time someone walks in, she quickly pauses it or ends the stream outright. Maybe that's why she's just watching TV for a majority of the stream, trying to make it seem like she's not doing anything. Like right now, if you walked by Tophia at the group home, would you think she's on a live stream? She's just mindlessly chilling, watching the tube. But now let's get into the real meat and potatoes of the video, because Tophia, as I mentioned, has been calling out her brother's ex, Angie, something crazy recently. And Tophia's now gone far enough to say that yes, she believes Angie had a hand in Brother Chu's death.
I didn't get him killed. What do you mean I got him killed? I didn't ask that guy to come kill us. What the fuck is your problem? She got him killed. I'm the one that got him killed. I'm not the one calling him a predator online. And someone thinking they could take matters into their own hands. Right? She's the one who called him a predator. Who's to say that he didn't go down there to take matters into his own hands because she said something? Because she called him a predator. And maybe he said, well, the police isn't doing anything, so I'll do something. I should watch a romance because I really need it. Doobie. She did. Well, you have to remember they got into that. They literally got into an argument before this incident happened. He went on live and defended himself. Right after that, all of a sudden he's murdered. And then she tries to tell me that to stop mentioning her and him in that way, like to stop mentioning her about the murder, when she called me with a very weird conversation. She had a very weird conversation to me, and I didn't even know how to record a conversation at that time, so I clicked screen record because the conversation was weird in of itself. The way she was talking to me seemed very suspicious. And then you sit here and tell me that you have to flee Albuquerque because you're getting threats. She got threats before and she never had to flee Albuquerque. To literally sit here and try to make it seem like there was a reason why you had to leave somewhere, that is so suspicious to me. And then to literally tell his friends he's dead, I know he's dead. Why would you say it like that? You're literally, like, you confirmed, like someone called you and confirmed that he's dead. Yes, I did tell her he was dead, but the way she told his friend was like, he's dead, I know he's dead. And his friends hadn't heard from me anyways first, so why are you telling it to them like that?
Well, first of all, your logic that she was going around telling people that Brother Chu was dead in a weird way doesn't really hold any water when you yourself just said right there that you let her know that he was dead. It is his ex-girlfriend at the end of the day. He spent a lot of time with this woman. I'd imagine people were asking her too what the current situation was. And also, your logic that somebody may have done something to him because Angie was going around quote-unquote falsely accusing him of being a predator. Tophia, you accuse Angie of being a predator in every single live stream. You say all the time that if someone's not on the registry, they're not a predator. And Angie is not on the registry. However, to your logic, you say she should be. So again, if people say that about Brother Chu, it's not fair in Tophia's eyes. But if she wants to go out there and call anybody else a predator she wants, it's completely fair game. And I've said it before, I'll say it a million times, if Tophia's logic is that this woman is a downright 100% confirmed predator, then why did Brother Chu stay with her for so long? It's giving performative hypocrite, and I think that you trying to put your brother's death on anybody but the guy who actively did it is so messed up. And so remember what I said about Angie and how Tophia will always say that, well, you know, she's not on the registry, but she should be. Well, people were calling Tophia out for being a predator last week, and she felt that she needed to make a long, drawn-out Instagram post about it, where she tries to defend herself from accusations that I've seen her throw out at people a million times.
No, you are not a predator unless you are registered. You cannot say, well, you don't have to be registered to be a predator. Okay, but I have no records whatsoever with the police of doing anything with children, which is really weird why you keep pushing this children thing, considering the fact that I have absolutely no record. I am literally not banned from stepping foot on schools, so I could step foot on an APS school. I could literally live near schools because I'm not registered, and also because I don't have a record, and I never will have a record of anything with minors, just because you are hoping, or maybe you're projecting and you're the one with the record. Who knows? Because it does sound like projection. Because, why are you trying to tell me anything? And try to say, well, yeah, of course, a lot of predators are not registered, but they still have records of doing things with kids. You can't sit here and lie on someone and then expect them not to sue you. I have not done anything inappropriate, nor have I done anything hella inappropriate with children or had any inappropriate conversations with any minors. Like people try to say from some old group chat where I didn't say anything inappropriate and I was helping 2 young individuals who were underage from preventing them from harming themselves because they were being bullied. They were having a hard time with their family. I didn't want to feel responsible if I didn't do anything to step in and try to talk to them and help them out of not harming themselves. But apparently you wouldn't know that because you bullied them into doing it. Like, I went through all these things, and of course when I see someone who is struggling, who doesn't have family, mind you, they couldn't go to their parents because the parents were being so, like, making everything so stressful on them. They had to be like this perfect person, and everything was weighing down on them. Everything around their life was falling apart, and like both these people wanted to harm themselves, and I wanted to be the person to step in and make sure that they know that they're valued.
So yeah, as you can hear, this all stemmed from people calling her out because a few years back when Tophia was in her mid-20s, she was in a Discord server with a bunch of underage kids, giving them, I guess, life advice or this and that. And she tries to make it sound okay by saying that these kids were in a bad mental spot, and Tophia had to be the one to talk to them and get them out of it. But it's really hard to take her words seriously when I believe this is around the same time she got called out for the Asian teen corn stuff. And also, being that it's Tophiachu, a woman who notoriously is known for only caring about herself, yeah, this is just a weird thing to bring up. And maybe I'm looking into this too much, but by Tophia saying that she wanted to be the person to step up and like talk to these people, makes me think it's a lot more for Tophia's benefit than it was for the minors she was talking to. In the next clip, Tophia is really pissed off by saying that Angie, her brother's ex, once lied about a pregnancy, and Tophia is even more mad that Angie said that if she did have a kid, she would not want Tophia and Papachu around that kid.
I knew people at my school who was pretending to be pregnant. Why you would want to pretend to have a baby, I don't know. I don't know why you would go to the extent to lie to try to keep my brother. What is wrong with you? And she didn't even want to tell my mom that they were engaged. My brother was like, tell her, and she's like, no. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? My dad even caught her cheating when she was in the room, giggling, smiling on her phone. But that's someone that she was so in love with, right? So fucked up. She's a piece of shit. You care enough when you go into her relations and hear her drama. Yes, you do care, because when she says, oh, I'm going to expose some things about them, then you're running over there to listen to her lies. All she does is lie. She's literally a compulsive liar. I know someone who is a habitual liar, compulsive liar. We have one in our family. I tell the truth. I don't have to lie to my family, but it's so fucked up. My brother called us. He was so happy saying, oh, I'm having a baby. And my dad, and we all knew, me, my mom, and my dad knew that she was not having a baby. She lied. And then has the nerve to tell people, I'm gonna keep the baby away from them. What kind of fucked up shit is that to say the baby away from me and my mom? What the fuck did we do to you? We didn't do shit to you. I don't give a fuck if you keep a baby away from me. Fuck you and fuck everyone else. Your family don't even like you, bitch. Your own sister hates you. So what are you talking about? Your real parents want nothing to do with you. And your adoptive parents want nothing to do with you, and your sister and your brothers and everyone wants nothing to do with you. So what are you talking about? At least my family has contact with me. My brother died and my uncle reached out to help me. What about her?
Alright, firstly, turn off your fucking TV. There is no need to have that shit on if you're trying to stream and entertain people. You make your own streams unwatchable, and I'm starting to think it's not to get under the troll's skin. You only have the TV on so you don't have dead air on your stream when you're not talking for 4 to 5 minutes. But you sure as hell talked a lot right here, and god damn do you reveal quite a lot, Tophia. If this woman didn't want your family around her kid, her unborn child, I think that says a lot more about you guys than it does about her. And for you to act like you don't care, which is what you said, I don't care if you don't have your kid around me, but fuck you bitch and fuck everyone. Yeah, you really care. And then you have the nerve to say that this woman's family doesn't care about her, while your family really cares about you. Remember that Brother Chu and Mama Chu wanted to go live with your uncle, the same uncle you just name dropped right there, who you talk shit on all the time, but you, the great Tophiachu, refused to ever go to their house, refused to ever go live with them, because one of the rules of you going there was that you couldn't keep up this TikTok bullshit. They probably told you needed to go get a job. That's just speculation, but I do know they did not want her to continue TikTok. If, of course, they were to go live with their uncle back when they were living in the car. But then what happened? The shooting happened, and it was all too late by then. You could have gotten your family into a safer place very quickly after you guys initially went homeless, but you refused to, Tophia. And for you now to claim that you have a family who loves you just sounds so crazy when you've been making your uncle out to sound like some abuser and some horrible piece of shit for months now.
Where's her family? Oh yeah, that's right, telling her get the fuck out. That's why she has no place to live, because her parents got tired of her shit. Weird ass bitch. Wants to go on live and talk shit about me, and you defend her stupid ass. Her family don't even like her. I'm just gonna wait till you guys really see what's what's what. Projection? How is that projecting when I've never been in a relationship? So, what is it? No one ever wants to date me? Or I lied to someone and did all of that? I would never tell somebody that I'm having a baby and I'm not. So what is it? No one wants to date me, or now someone wants to date me enough for projection? That's fucking stupid.
Stop. Tophia, just stop. You can't possibly be that dense to where you don't know why people are telling you that you're projecting. It's not because you have a kid or you've never had a kid and you've never had a relationship. It's because you're claiming someone else's family doesn't give a shit about them while you sit here in a shelter withering away without any of your family stepping up to be like, hey, Tophia, come on over to our place. Now, granted, they did. It's known that your uncle offered you a place to live, but you pissed it all away by saying, no, you want to do what you want to do, and it doesn't matter whose roof you're living under because you're a full-grown adult woman. You should be able to do whatever you want. And that's fair, Tophia, but you know what full-grown adults have that allows them to do whatever they want? A house. Somewhere they can call their own. You don't get to walk into someone else's doors and go, this is how it's going to go. That's why you're living the way you're living at the shelter right now. But if you're not watching Tophia's streams and you're just seeing her TikTok account, you'd think that she's living her best life, out at the club, out on the streets every night, all dolled up with all her makeup, because that's what she wants you to think. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, you can only see Tophia herself in these TikToks. You can't see any of the background, and that's because Tophia films it that way. She doesn't want you knowing she's at like a park bench or in a public bathroom somewhere. Then she'll post random shit like this saying, people be like, don't judge, it can be you one day. I would never make the unpopular girl fall in love with me as a bet. What? Like, what is that from a movie? It's probably from a movie. I want you guys to notice something though. I'm not entirely sure what this TikTok's supposed to be for, but I'm pretty sure she's just sympathy baiting once again. Going like, wow, I look so sad right now. People should feel bad for me. She has none of her makeup on or nothing. Unlike this clip, where she says, God forbid a girl has needs. Someone should wife me up because, like, look at me. I can't really read it down there, but you can read it. Someone should wife her up. This is what the comments think, by the way. The comments completely ripped her apart on this specific TikTok, which then led to this TikTok being created. where Tophia says, I struggle every day feeling good enough and not feeling beautiful. People are so cruel. I can imagine bullying some for their looks. Hopefully tomorrow is a better day. Tophia, you can absolutely imagine bullying people for their looks. You did it to Angie last week, saying she looks like a wet dog. You do it to Natalie Reynolds all the time when you go, oh, well, Natalie Reynolds did this, but everyone's saying she's so pretty. Like, what do you mean she's so pretty? You hate it when other women get propped up. Now, granted, in your eyes, oh, all them are scumbags and you're just a pure-hearted soul. But no, it goes both ways, Tophia. If you're gonna bully, people are probably gonna give you that same type of energy. She then says, the amount of people who feel like me is sad. If I looked pretty, maybe I'd be loved, but I'm too ugly to be loved. That's a complete 180 from the last TikTok you posted by saying, look at you. You should be wifed up right now. Now, it's also important to mention that Tophia's been, bringing up tons and tons of dudes who've been trying to court her, saying, oh my god, Tophia, message me on Facebook. Tophia, let me take you out on a date. Let me take you to the movies. And in every single situation, she says, well, I'm not ready to date right now. I'm not ready to get back out there. There's too much going on in my life. But then just a day later, you're posting things saying that you should be wifed up. And it's weird. It's kind of like you're creating a bunch of fictitious men that you can then deny to make yourself feel better about yourself. But maybe that's just me. Maybe there is just this gaggle of dudes trying to get in Tophia's pants. And then the big part of the video, the reason you probably clicked on it. Tophia did a stream last night where someone asked her about Papachu, and this is how she responded.
I didn't steal from my stepdad. He told us we could use his disability. I didn't use it unless he said so. He told us we can use it. He said to manage it and to pay, because we told him we have to pay the rent with this and we have to keep this place. We're working on getting a place. We was. But when people kept calling places to get us evicted, it didn't help the fact that we were trying to get a place.
And with that, the floodgates just burst wide open. Why are you referring to Papachu as your stepdad? Something that you've been adamant that's not true before. Like, you have stood 10 toes down and said, shut the fuck up, like, you're all just making lies. Is it a lie, Tophia? Because now you yourself are saying it. Yes, some people might say that she just misspoke, but at the same time, when she does do that type of shit, she stops right away and goes, no, I mean my actual dad, because I don't want you trolls to run with that. The chat may have just baited her into revealing something she's been trying for so long not to bring up. And again, I mentioned it before, she has an ancestry test. One that on some stream way back in the day, she bragged about getting, but when the results came in, they were nowhere to be fucking found. But if this is true, and her father is actually the man Ronald, who a lot of people have suspected it is, then it throws every single claim that Tophia has made about race into question. I saw a brilliant comment on one of my last Tophiachu videos, saying that Tophia always will say, wow, you're calling me lazy, or wow, you're saying I don't contribute anything to society? That's racist because she views herself as black. But how racist is it for Tophia herself to say that when it's like any derogatory comment people make towards her, she immediately equates it to black people, or people saying it because she views herself as black? When no, they're calling you that. You're the one calling black people that. The chat is not the one being racist. The people calling you out for being lazy aren't being racist. You are being racist by trying to bring a race that you're not even a part of into the situation. But say this is true, Tophia is going to be pitching a big fit all over TikTok the next few weeks. And you guys know I'll already have you guys covered on all the clips and anything that happens with that. But there is one more clip I wanted to show you before I got out of here today. And it's from last night's Tophia live stream where she's recalling a story from back when they used to live at their old apartment. Papachu is there, Mamachu is there, and Papachu, who we now know is Tophia's stepfather, asks her, Tophia, I need you to take the trash out for me, Tophia. And she says no, she's not going to do that, because why would Tophia have to do anything to keep the house she lives in clean? So then Papachu tells her, well, I'm gonna take the wire out of the computer, Tophia. And so, that's something a parent will do to their child. If the kid's acting up, Tophia's in her mid-20s when all this is going on. So how do you think Tophia reacts? Now, When you hear it, it's gonna ring a lot of bells in your head, because this just happened a few weeks ago. She reacted the same way when some random woman told her that she didn't want to be friends with Tophia anymore. Simply put, Tophia didn't like how her life was going or what was going on, so she reached for a bottle of pills.
You go throw your trash. Then because I refused to throw his trash, he unplugged the internet and said, well, you're not gonna get internet. And he said something about, I don't know what it was. He just got mad and he said, well, you're not gonna get internet. That's when I went and grabbed the Advils, and my mom stopped me from taking the Advils.
What a fucked up thing to do. Like, why, just because somebody wants you to go take out the trash, such a menial task, do you feel like it's necessary to bait your own life? It's not even like you had a hard life either, Tophia. You were just asked to do some chores. And I brought it up before, but you did this a few weeks ago, and it's why you're not allowed at the other shelter. Now she's starting to see the repercussions for what happens when you do this shit. If you're somebody who is genuinely in a bad place and you feel like that's your only option, please talk to somebody. Please seek help, like go to a mental hospital, do anything you can to keep on pushing. But if you're gonna use something like that for your own gain, to try to get what you want because you're too lazy to get off the couch, or you're just mad about some woman not talking to you, it's incredibly fucked up, and she does this shit all the time. Tophia, if you ever hear this and you're really feeling that way, please seek professional help. Don't just boot up a live stream. Don't, especially like you did last time. I mentioned it in my previous video, but she booted up a stream and within a minute or two was already crying and saying that she wanted to end stuff. And you only poked your head up every time somebody would send you a donation. You were crying out for help, but when people sent, like, I guess people called the cops and tried to get you to go to like somewhere where you could get help, you freaked out because that's not the help you wanted. The help you wanted was to be given $500,000 from the GoFundMe you set up, which by the way is now taken down once again. So I don't know if Tophia did it, if GoFundMe did it, but I know the GoFundMe was planned to end on like November 8th and it only raised $130. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tophia just took that $130 and ran. And you know what she's probably planning on doing with that $130? Going to Comic-Con again, because yes, Tophia was on her stream last week saying that she's still planning on going to Comic-Con this year. And, well, this is where the story gets really dark, if it hasn't already. Somebody went into Papachu's station head account, because that's where Papachu streams and talks to people, and they let her know what was going on with Tophia saying that she's going to Comic-Con again. And this was Papachu's response. Fuck. I mean, just, like, that says it right there. Like, Brother Chu is still yet to be buried, by the way. It's been about 9 months, and Tophia is not doing anything to help get them there, and she's just talking about going to Comic-Con and going to Jonas Brothers concerts, and it's, you know, if you weren't online begging for money to get your brother buried, I really don't think people would give a shit what you do with your money. But when you're actively trying to like beg people and guilt people into giving you money, then yeah, they're going to be scratching their heads when they realize, wait, why is she going to Comic-Con? But at the end of the day, it's because she just doesn't care. You can see that in her streams. You can see that just by looking at her online right now. She's incredibly comfortable where she's at. She's at a new shelter who's not really kicking her in the ass to try to get a job. She doesn't have Papachu there to have to worry about. And it's probably the most freedom she's ever had in her life. But at the same time, she has no money and now needs to beg online for it because she's sure as shit not going to get a job. Not even going to go look. I bet you they probably at the shelter have advised that of her, like, you should go out there and look for a job. And she probably looks at him every single time and goes, oh, it's okay, TikTok's my job. It's fine. This is going to be an ever-repeating cycle, I can see it now. But that's what's going on in this week of Tophia's crazy fucking weird TikTok story. I never really know where the story's gonna go next. If you would have told me 3 weeks ago when we released the last Tophia video that Jacob Sockness would be creeping more than ever, well, that I probably would have expected. But this stuff here about her admitting that Papachu's her stepdad, probably not. Probably not. But you guys let me know down in the comments what you think about all this, and I will be back at it again before you know it with another video. If you missed it, yesterday myself and Kiwi released a video here on the channel regarding DSP's current feud with Asmongold, and if you liked videos like that, or you like videos like this, then go subscribe to the new Too High for Stupid channel. We actually just uploaded a video today talking about the upcoming 2025 lolcow award, so check that out if you guys haven't already. And again, I'll be back at it here before you know it. If you want want to keep up to date on the stories of people like Tophia and all that while I'm not making videos, then follow me over on Twitter at Smokeymcc. I'm always talking about shit over there. And yeah, until I catch you guys next time, stay safe everybody and have a great rest of your day.